Kids are back in school and the air is starting to get cooler. So it's time for us to start talking about Halloweekends here at Cedar Point. I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. Let's go. Now it's dark here. It's already kind of given that spooky vibe. I'm very excited about Halloweekends, and we're going to talk everything from start to finish about Halloweekends, what you can expect, where you can expect it to take place, and what's actually going to be happening here at Cedar Point. So we're going to go through everything. Hopefully this will be a very comprehensive list of the things that you're probably going to see. Now, I do not know everything. I can't know everything. They haven't actually released it all. But we'll even be talking about those caveats when we get to them. I just want you to be as prepared as possible for when Halloweekends actually starts up here at Cedar Point. My first area that I want to talk to you about tonight is right here in the kiddie area, especially right here. Between all of these little planters, they'll have tents, and this becomes an area where there's mazes. There's all kinds of different stuff for kids. Mazes, there's usually corn, stuff is hidden in the corn. You can play inside it. There's all kinds of different stuff for kids here. And one big part of that also is trick-or-treating tents. You'll come right up here to this front of the Kiddieland area, and that front of the Kiddieland area will have a big line on it that will allow kids to get, I think kids under 12, I believe, to get a bag and to get a card to go and get some candy from each stop. Now, each kid should only get one, all of that kind of stuff, but this is something free that Cedar Point gives for you to be able to do. And you can go to about 10 different stops that will have candy for you hidden all the way around the Kiddieland area here, this original Kiddieland area right here. So it's definitely a really fun thing for any kids to be able to do. And then it's something special to be able to do as a family member. It is only available during the day, and it does not happen on Thursdays, I believe. I think it does happen on Fridays, but any of the only evening nights that they have, which should be only Thursdays, they do not have kids activities for. There are a few other kids non-spooky activities. Now, in the past, they have happened over here where the new boardwalk was going to be happening. When that was under construction, they had it over there because they had a lot of space for it. Then they moved it over here. It has moved kind of from place to place per year. I'll give you updates if you press that subscribe button. Check out this channel. I will give you updates, lots of updates during the year for Halloweekends. But those are things that you will be able to find. Also, this midway will be just filled with decorations. They've had large pumpkins, and they've had different topiaries and all kinds of different things that they've had in the past. Each year it's a little bit different. I'll be interested to see what they have this year. I can guarantee the pumpkins will be back. I'm just certain of that. It's always been here. Now, right now is a good time for me to tell you that Cedar Point is open only on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday for the days of Halloweekends. Thursday, they added a couple years ago. It is one of the best times to come. If you're trying to get here for Halloweekends and to do as much as you possibly can, please choose a Thursday. That's a great way if you can ask a day off and come on Thursday, I guess maybe 2 days, and ask for Thursday and Friday off. Being able to spend that Thursday will be a breath of fresh air in comparison to the Friday that's going to be after it, because Friday is going to be insanely busy. Thursday's mostly local-ish people who wanted to actually take a couple-hour drive to get here, but way fewer people than normal there. Now, you do still have everything open. All of the rides are still open. There are a few fewer restaurants, and you're also going to see a lot of teenagers working here at Cedar Point to man the restaurant areas. So the food quality kind of changes a little bit during Halloweekends because it's not being manned by a group of trained people. It's instead being manned by usually sports teams that are trying to raise some money, and they raise money specifically for their sports team by doing that. Now, everything that we just passed, including the boardwalk area and Valraven, at least in the past, has been non-spooky areas. Every once in a while, you might see someone in a spooky mask or something like that. That does happen from time to time, especially earlier on in the night. Usually, though, even then, they're trying to be a little bit more kind about it. They're not trying to just scare students like crazy. But fog and scary things will start back here. All right, I'm gonna grab some food here at our diner. Let's go to Coasters. And it is fitting that we start here at the celebration stage. The celebration stage is the spot where you are going to have the opening ceremonies and tons of stuff that happens here. Now, if it's like last year, by this point last year, they'd already had a couple of things show up. They had a stage here with a bar underneath it, and then they also had another stage over here for them to put things with like a green room underneath that, I believe. So, this year they haven't done quite as much of that yet by the middle of August. Might end up happening by the beginning of September. We'll have to see what actually happens. But there are usually a lot of entertainments. Now, I do know that there will be the Shrieks here on this stage. I don't know if they're going to have everything else. I have a feeling they will also have opening ceremonies happening here on this stage also. But this is a fantastic place with a lot of really fun things to watch at night as everything starts up. Also, during the day, they will have a Peanuts spooky show here if it's similar to prior years. Now, I'm giving a lot of caveats today because earlier this year, like around Christmas time, I asked someone what was going to be happening in entertainment this year, and they said that almost nothing was going to change. And Boardwalk Nights obviously is nothing like anything that they've done in the past. So things change. That's my point. Just because it's looking like it's going to be one way, which it looks like it's going to be very similar. All of the advertisements and everything are saying that there are going to be 5 haunted houses. There's also going to be 5 scare zones. So those things are not going to be different than what they've had in past years. And I'm going to be talking about where all of those places actually exist inside the park. But it is going to be a difference, but who knows what's actually going to happen. Maybe entertainment's going to change from what we expect it to be. Maybe things aren't going to go quite as they thought. Maybe they'll have Top Thrill 2 open up and then everything changes where they put things, or they'll have some sort of another accident and they'll have to change things. I've just noticed that this year a lot of things have been up in the air, so I'm expecting that things may be a little bit different than they expected it to be. So I'm kind of wondering what it's going to be like. I have heard from pretty reputable sources that each of the shows is going to be a little bit different than they were last year. So that is something that I think is going to be pretty noticeable. Now, they're still the same. Like, we still will have the Shrieks. It's just the Shrieks is going to look different than it has looked in the past 3 years or 4 years that they've had it. So each year is going to be just a little bit different. This year is going to be different one more time also. So I'm very excited to see what they have, but let's continue on and I'll show you where the locations of all these haunted houses and some more entertainment are going to be. Now, right here, we are very close to the beginning of the actual haunt zone. So Halloweekends is going to be taking place from September 12th to November 2nd. November 2nd? I swear that's new. I swear it wasn't until November 2nd. I haven't noticed that until today. That's actually really exciting to me. And then also there are 5 indoor haunted mazes and 5 outdoor haunted scare zones. So scare zones happen outside, indoor haunted mazes happen inside. If you get a gold pass today, you can actually come to Cedar Point for all of this next year until November 2nd, as it says. And you can also come back to Cedar Point for next year for the entire season if you buy it now, or if you buy it anytime up until the end of Halloweekends this year. That is something that me and my friend Nathan have done frequently in the past. Come 1 year and then come for Halloweekends 1 year and then come for the whole season next year. And then same thing, like don't buy a ticket for the year after that, but buy a ticket at Halloween again after that. That is a cost-saving tip that you can use. Now, there is going to be entertainment in here. This is the Fangs. The Fangs will be taking place inside here. I actually do have some confirmation on that it will be the Fangs. Now, once again, it may be changed though a little bit from what we've seen in the past, which again, every year, it's been a little bit different. In the past, it's been the Fangtastics. Last year, it was the Fangs. And this year, it will be the Fangs again. I'm very excited to see them. It's kind of vampire themed, and I love it. But, I mean, they wear vampire fangs, and then they sing fun rock songs. That's all it is. Once again, you guys know that I absolutely love the entertainment here at Cedar Point, and Halloweekends is no different. It is, I'm going to say, by far a sexier time of year. Like, somehow they always make it sexier. It's weird because during the summer, when things are incredibly hot here, you have people just like dressed to the hilt, completely covered up, and you're just dying in the heat. And then in the winter or in the fall, when it starts to get cool, all of a sudden it becomes like we're gonna have shortest mini skirts and guys with their shirts off. It doesn't make sense. Now, right here is where things will become, if they are consistent with past years, we will have barriers right here, and this becomes the haunt zone. So it'll actually say haunt up there, or sweet dreams, or something vaguely creepy. And then you enter through this little area. There still won't be anybody to scare you right here. But as soon as you get into this bridge and across this bridge, then the scare actors or screamsters will start to scare you over here. Coming over here, my favorite bar will still be open. Trail Tavern will still be open. However, they will not be having pony rides over here at all because this is a place where they have fewer kids. They encourage fewer kids. However, during the day, they will still have a few kids activities here. Now at night, this will be just like covered with fog, and you'll have tons of bright lights coming at you. So you really can't see where you're going at all. But then during the day, it'll be open and available for you to see whatever you need to see. As a matter of fact, there will actually be kids activities that are happening back here. And those kids activities would be the Witch Sisters that happen right back here. Or at least, again, if they're consistent with last year, the Witch Sisters will be over here. If they revert back to what they've done in the past, then they will have the Witch Sisters in here. I really do like having the Witch Sisters here. Just gives a lot more space for people to spread out and be able to watch them. It also acts as a really nice backdrop for these funny, silly witches. Daytime activities are not made to be spooky at all. You could have your kids here until about 8 o'clock, and then things are going to make a dark turn. At that point, the front of the park will not be scary, but anything back here will be filled with smoke and be made to feel quite a bit creepier. They will also have scare actors, again, screamsters, and they'll have people like kind of sliding across the floor. Those people are made to scare you also. Now back here where it says Professor Delbert's, this is actually where the Forbidden Trail used to be. And I do believe that it will be another year of having Blood on the Bayou back here also, using up that entire island for Blood on the Bayou. Now, I'll be pleasantly surprised if they don't do that, and if instead you walk underneath Top Thrill 2 for that. I would love that. However, considering how much is happening with Top Thrill 2, I imagine they're going to want to divert people away from Top Thrill 2 as much as they possibly can. We'll show you where that would have been in just a little bit here. I do see something else that's already set up here for Halloweekends, and that is the Roadkill Buffet. So this is back here where it says Split Entrails, is where they have a haunted house. You walk through this Roadkill Buffet to get back there, and then you go back into the haunted house for that. That is another very scary and also very fun haunted house to go check out, where the barnyard is during the normal season. Now this is one of the most scary outdoor haunted areas to go visit, and it's in the space of Thunder Canyon. Thunder Canyon is closed for Halloweekends because they're setting it up to become a haunted house maze to go check out. It's definitely a fun place to go check out, and worthwhile to go see once. However, do it at the very end of the night, because during the main part of the day, things get incredibly busy there. Way busier than they have any right to be. However, I am sad to see that Thunder Canyon is closed. I love Thunder Canyon. Feels like it just opened and then now it's gone. Back here, for all intents and purposes, the haunts area kind of ends again. They will have another show right over here, and that is Edgar Allan Poe's Something Heart. I forget what it's called right now, but they recite the entire thing for that. And then over here, they will be having a bar for Halloweekends. Back here in the housing for the old carousel, they have the Fairground Freak Show, which will be another haunted house set to a haunted carnival, as if carnivals aren't already scary enough. Love to get back in there. You can see that it's kind of set up in there already. It's cool. Wish I could go in, but even if it was open, I wouldn't. I'm too good of a kid. Wow, guys, it's the last weekend that they're open till 11, but man, I mean, look at how it's like people don't realize that they're open till 11. And they're just leaving at 10 because it's open till 10 every other day of the week. It's like no wait at all. Now, eating areas are distinctly not spooky, but there is going to be a spooky area that's right over here, or at least there has been in the past. Now, I noticed this last year, it was particularly diminished in comparison to what it's been in the past. So this area has been like a spooky carnival in the past, but last year they had like a rock clown area that was way down there over by Gemini. So that may be what they choose to do, or to lean into more this coming year. We'll have to see. This bridge will not be spooky, but as soon as you walk out here, there's gonna be all kinds of spooky stuff that you're gonna see. And they're all dressed like cowboys. This is the Wild West, but make it ghoulish. Now, once again, this entire area is just absolutely filled with fog. Now, on windy days, sometimes you have a little bit less fog than you would other times. So expect that on windy days. Also, if you're wanting to have a little bit fewer scares, you can buy a Nobu necklace. A Nobu necklace, I think, is like a $15 cost, something like that. And you do not have people come up and try to scare you. It kind of gives you immunity in that sense, if that's something you want. I do not understand why you would want to go through scare zones to not be scared, but that is something that is available to you if you would like it. Now, one of my favorite parts, and again, if they do it this year, I don't know exactly, and I'm not counting my chickens before they hatched, but is Lusty Lils. Lusty Lils will be the space of another show that is, in past, it has been a murder mystery show. Now, I'm wondering if they're retooling that this year, because as far as I know, almost all of the cast that they have had in previous years is not here. So I'm very interested in what they're really going to do, or if they'll just be doing kind of a different take on the same concept. It should be really fun to see one way or another, but definitely something that I'm excited for regardless. Especially if they open up Lusty Lils. Anytime they open it up, I love that. They have also had something in the Jack Aldrich Theater in the past. Last year, they did not have something in the Jack Aldrich Theater. It was the first year that, since I've been recording, that they did not have that. So I'm not quite sure what to expect. We'll have to see. Now over here, you'll already see a pirate ship. And actually, I think this pirate ship might always be here. I'm not sure. It's so funny because I never noticed it during the main season. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Has this thing always been here? But it will be open right here to take you back into a haunted maze outdoor. And this is the Pirate Maze. Very, very fun. Something I enjoy a lot. And it takes you underneath Maverick, which is part of the fun of it. I love being able to see all of that. It's really cool. And right over there is Steel Vengeance. I think we're actually gonna try to ride Maverick right now with my single-use fast lane. So we're gonna hop on that real fast. Let's go. It does look like Maverick has next to no wait. And I wouldn't mind riding that, but I'm also not trying to wait in a big line when I still have a video to finish up tonight. Actually, I have 2 videos to finish up tonight.
It is damn near.
Oh yeah, nice and quick. Let's go. Let's go. Tonight at 11:05, they're letting people on. I'm not sure why they are. I have a feeling it's some sort of a special event or special group, maybe a private tour or something. But it's a lot of people for that, maybe employees. Now, during Halloweekends is one of the most fun times to actually ride that ride. Maverick is so much fun at night in this area because it's surrounded by fog on all different sides of it. So when you get to that tunnel where you stop and then it shoots you off for the second launch, it is so much fun. It's just a crazy, like, you're completely dark and completely engulfed in fog. When lights hit you, all you see is the light. You can't see anything around you. So you're kind of blind. You kind of just can see the fog altogether. It's just crazy. It's so much fun. It's worthwhile. And when it shoots you out of that fog, it's a huge rush. Now, right here in the past couple of years, they have had Bloodbath back here. Bloodbath is one more area that actually exists way back here. That is one more haunted maze inside. It's to the side of Steel Vengeance. It's definitely a really, really fun place to go visit. And it's always kind of like a club atmosphere. I mean, that's really what the whole idea of it is a club atmosphere. I have heard on good authority that that house is coming back. I imagine there will still be a few little changes. And once again, I'll let you guys know about those changes when I find them. Just press that subscribe button in order to see and keep up with as much as possible. Also, I only release videos so often. Usually at this point now, I'm releasing every day, but that still doesn't get every single video that I have done out. So if you want to find everything out about Halloweekends as fast as humanly possible, as soon as I get done with videos, I press that members only tab right away. Every single video goes straight there. So if you want to know the best information the fastest you possibly can, then press that members only tab and you'll find out all the information that I have for Cedar Point at your fingertips at any point. Memberships start at only $2.99 a month, and you also, along with that, get exclusive videos that I've made specifically for you guys. And sometimes I make very, very special videos that have been requested by some of the higher tiers. So go check all that stuff out if you want to find out more about my memberships, or also Patreon has some of those same benefits also. Not all of them, but you can go check that out too. We'll have tons of animatronics, fun things that the screamsters are doing to kind of scare you. It's a good old cheeky time, cheeky scary time. All right, and confirmation, they will be having the rock and roll clowns here this year. I wasn't quite sure if that was the plan or not, but this is just kind of an area where they generally have people to scare you around. Oh, and they're gonna have a band here. So I wonder if the band, I bet they're just doing it differently than they did it last year. Well, that'll be fun. Okay, so the band will be right up here. This will definitely be different than what they had last year, but I think a lot easier to see also than what they did last year. Last year they had this set up over here, and this was the like clown band arena, and they had a build-up stage inside here in a big circle, and then you had to watch. But it's a little bit difficult to watch when you're having to watch from a flat surface and they're not up high. That will be a lot easier to be able to see them there. And you can also grab a drink right over here, right next to it, which will be perfect. That's a good way for them to kind of make additional money on entertainment here at Cedar Point. For your favorite shows, I highly recommend buying a drink around the time that you are actually watching the show for whatever event is happening. If that's something that you really love, if you love watching the shows, that's a great way to support them, because it lets Cedar Point know that monetarily we are still supporting those shows. Like, those shows are the reason why we're grabbing something to drink at that time, because we're gonna go see the show. We're not gonna be riding a ride. So it's a great time for us to grab something, an adult beverage for us to be able to have. It's a good way for us to support what our favorite artists here at Cedar Point do. Now this entire area right here, up until about Backbeat Queue, is where they will have rock clowns hanging out. I don't remember what it's called. Send in the clowns, I don't remember. So I'm very excited for that. Now once we get down here to Backbeat Queue, this is where the scary area ends. Right in time for Camp Snoopy. So there is a good entrance and exit where you will not be scared, or your kids will not be scared if they head back to Camp Snoopy. There is also an exit right up here on the other side of Backbeat Queue where you can leave the park from there if you would like to. Now, right here would be the exit to where Blood on the Bayou used to be. This spot right there. So, if Blood on the Bayou still was there, we would be exiting there. I'm not sure that Blood on the Bayou will be where we saw. So, now I've got to figure out which side Blood on the Bayou is really going to be. I have a feeling it's still going to be on the island. Like I said, Everybody wants to find out anything about Top Thrill 2. And I think unless they actually open Top Thrill 2, it's going to be way too much of a liability on their fingers or on their hands. Whatever, it's late. For knowing that people might actually go to Top Thrill 2 and try to like walk around the grounds, stuff like that, try to hop out of line. So I don't think they'll be doing anything with that, but they could. This is very, very fun because there is this little hearse here that's already set up, and one of my favorite indoor haunts, which is this old house. Now this old house also ends up being an area for the cast to get changed in and to get their costumes on and all that kind of stuff, get water. So when you see people heading down to the main stage, they generally are coming from this building right here. But this building down below, see right here even, it says live entertainment personnel only. If I could only go back there, I'd absolutely love it, but I would also be super creepy if I did. So I'm not going to. But this will all be set up as a large line for this haunted house right here. And there still are people who will come out of these doors. One time I had someone show up and just look me right in the eye. He had a mask on and he was one of the drummers. He's a pretty cool. He's a pretty cool dude in real life, but it's definitely creepy that day, and I loved it. So we are on our way out of the park now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Please press that subscribe button, like button, stuff like that if you enjoyed this little look into Halloweekends. I'm very excited for Halloweekends. Please let me know down below, are you excited? What is it that you think about Halloweekends, and what is your favorite part of it? Love to hear from you guys down there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and let's go. Putting the floats back in their holding cells. Bye, Boardwalk. I'll see you tomorrow night. Last night for Boardwalk nights, anyway. Thank you so much to Casey Wood. Thank you for your support of the channel. And oh my word, let's go. Hey, thanks for watching. I release theme park related videos at least a couple times a week, so press that subscribe button if you made it this far. Also, check out similar videos in the playlist to the right or find my newest video to the left. Thanks again, and let's go.